10 things WWE should not do at WrestleMania 35. Number 10. Don't bury the tag teams. Right now, WWE is blessed with incredible talent within its tag team division and has some of the very best teams in the world, all capable of putting on top quality matches that are certainly WrestleMania worthy. At WrestleMania 34, the tag team division was totally buried, with Sheamus and Cesaro losing to a child, while the triple threat that saw the Usos' first ever Mania match was so forgettable when it could have been a show stealer. With so much talent within the tag teams, on both Raw and SmackDown, it is crucial that WWE takes it seriously this year, giving them dedicated storylines and some major matches rather than rushing through it all. Number 9. Don't have only women's title matches. While there can be no denying that WWE has focused on women's division a lot more during recent WrestleManias, the only matches that take place are always based on championships. Sure, last year saw a Battle Royale thrown into the mix as well, but what WWE really needs to do in order to take the next step in the women's evolution is to give the women more opportunities at WrestleMania 35. Having a women's match that doesn't have anything to do with the title and is instead just a normal battle like the men get would make a big difference and would also help make the card stand out more. Number 8. Don't put the cruiserweights on the kickoff. WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, and WWE insists on making it be as long as possible. With the incredibly stacked card, which often means that 3 matches finds a home on the pre-show nowadays, for the past 2 WrestleManias, the Cruiserweight Championship has taken one of those spots, opening the show despite the fact that the matches have been incredible and arguably some of the best in recent Mania history. WWE has begun investing time and effort back in 205 Live, and they have been having matches of the year candidates nearly every single week. So this year, it would be smart to feature them on the main card and bump something else down. Number 7. No pointless battle royales. The reason WWE puts on the Andre the Giant and Women's Battle Royal is obviously to ensure that everyone gets on the card and earns a paycheck, and that is certainly a good thing as all the talent work hard for the entire year for that moment. However, the matches have just become very pointless and ones that fans do not care about in the slightest because the fact they win is often forgotten about the very next night rather than developing on them. For WrestleMania 35, if WWE wants to continue the trend of having battle royales on the show, perhaps making them worthwhile with a future title shot at the United States or Intercontinental Championship could make things far more entertaining. Number 6. Stipulation Match. Whether it's a ladder match, a no DQ match, or a Hell in a Cell match, WrestleMania really needs to have a stipulation match this time around, as it makes the show far more exciting and less predictable, breaking up the pace of the event. Every Mania should feature at least one hot feud between 2 superstars who simply cannot stand each other, and if WWE builds it up correctly, then it won't be an issue to throw in a stipulation match. This is something that WWE should be considering for when it's preparing the card for Mania 35, as a major show such as that certainly deserves having a major stipulation match. Number 5. Rely on part-time talent. The past few WrestleManias have seen WWE put on major focus on part-time wrestlers, whether that be The Undertaker, Triple H, Shane McMahon, or somebody else. They have all been featured in big matches over recent years. While it is fun to have that nostalgic moment, with the current size of WWE's roster, it is not actually needed to have them involved in a match, as it simply takes away a spot from another wrestler who has never had such an opportunity. WWE would be best served using the nostalgia moments differently, with talent shown backstage in segments to pop the crowd, or used as a surprise appearance for a promo or just a quick segment like WWE has done in the past. Number 4. Don't waste Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman walked into WrestleMania 34 as arguably the most popular wrestler on the roster, yet the company totally wasted him by giving him the tag team titles with Nicholas, which they gave up the day after. Thankfully, Strowman is still just as popular, and by the time WrestleMania 35 rolls around, that will hopefully continue, and this time, WWE will understand what it has on its hands and uses him correctly. The monster amongst men deserves a major match at WrestleMania, and hopefully that is what he'll get. Whether that be a huge title match or a singles bout against another big name, he needs to be utilized correctly. Number 3. No surprises. When it comes to WrestleMania, WWE fans expect the company to pull out all the stops, creating incredible moments that nobody would ever forget, and a big part of that is having surprises take place. Whether that be a legend making a return to hit their classic finisher on a member of today's roster who's running down the crowd, or like WrestleMania 33 and someone is coming back to be in a match like the Hardy Boys. Another big way to surprise fans would be having someone debut, whether that be from NXT or a major signing from outside of the company, such as a current Bullet Club member. It just helps set the show apart. Number 2. Let The Undertaker wrestle. This might not be the most popular decision in the world, but it is time to let The Undertaker rest in peace, and sit on the sidelines for this one. WrestleMania cards are big enough now to not need the dead man's presence, no matter how strange that might seem at first. While nobody personifies WrestleMania more than The Undertaker, there's simply no need to have a below average match once a year at this stage in his career, just for the sake of having him show up at the event. WWE can afford to give more time to someone else, and unless they have a proper storyline to really give Undertaker a final send-off, then it could be the right time to allow him to just ride off into the sunset. Number 1. Have Roman Reigns main event. It may seem like people say this just because they don't like Roman Reigns, and perhaps to some degree, for some people, that is the case. But in reality, WWE really needs to learn from its mistakes and not do this again. Roman Reigns has been in the main event of every WrestleMania for the last 4 years, and it simply screams that WWE doesn't have any other top tier talent, when in fact, that couldn't be further from the truth. The fan response to those matches have been non-existent, and it is now time to give somebody else a chance at carrying the show while the big dog slides down the card into another spot this year.
Off the ropes, always untamed, on guard when I step in the ring. WWE, all eyes on me. King of the ring, who you came to see? It's a big show, so let your friends know. Only the strong survive. Face to face, look your opponent up in the eyes. Crowd cheering, fan favorite, I'm the main event. Had them all waiting, my finish move, they anticipating. Laid out like you, son.